Hi, my name is Mark Anthony DuBose Jr. I was born July 4th, 1986. I'm going to say thank you for tuning in. Today I want to talk about something that I think is probably one of the most incredible things that I've realized about I'm going to talk about dogs, but in reality, the biggest things that I'm always going to want to talk about is not the dog, but us as humans. Don't take this the wrong way, but using the dog to figure out more about us, because they've already been doing these, say, science projects of using dogs and rats and other things to figure out more about who we are as human beings, how we function, how we do, everything about us. And the biggest thing that I'm kind of looking at, everyone, like scientists, they're doing what they're doing, but my lane and my lens is looking at this, I believe, a little bit differently than what anything that I even read about and talk about when it comes down to these animals. Because I'm looking at it in a way of change. There's always these, I don't know how to say that word, whatever. There's always these sayings that we as humans can't change. That once you are who you are, and that's just who you are. And how you are when you're young, so let's just make it simple because we're all adults here. But the classic saying of once a cheater, always a cheater. That's what someone would say, that person has done that once and they'll never change from that. That's who they are. That's what they're going to be for the remainder of their life, no matter what's going on. They're always going to be predestined to do that over and over and over again. So I started to challenge against that in reality, because I started to challenge that with the sense of the dog. The sense of the dog being able to see that the dog is doing something. So say, let's go to the simple ways of looking at it, which saying a so-called reactive dog, a dog that's barking at other dogs, a dog that's barking at other people. And I'm trying to figure out why this dog is doing such a thing, and I figure out why the dog is doing such a thing, and just say the dog is just scared. I can say that dog is scared for life. That's it. That's all it's going to be. There's never going to be a difference here. There are some people and say some dog trainers that do state that. I will state that they will state that what you see is that's what you're always going to see. So you're going to always keep needing to manage what you see. So that's what I could say is as far as, say, a man or a woman. If you've ever cheated before in your life, then you have to manage all of your symptoms for the remainder of your life, because it's gonna come out again. It's gonna happen. It's gonna have no choice but to manifest out, because it's just who you are. And you're never gonna be able to deviate from that. That's just who you are. But then I started doing things with these dogs that I realized is really fascinating. I started to see them change. I started to see them do different stuff. I started to see a dog that was just obsessed over something, and then now it doesn't matter anymore. I started to see dogs that were just so scared in certain things that they're just not anymore. And that's the logic that I think is failing a lot of us as humans on that concept of who you are is who you are and you can't change from that. And I'm going to say that's just not true, because that's the behavior that I see with working with animals that is what I want to say is absolutely incredible. It's incredible to be able to see how they're able to change. It's incredible to see how they're able to get over problems that they've got going on. It's incredible to see how fast in reality. Some of y'all I want it in 15 minutes, but taking a dog that is extremely fearful of the world, and in a year's time, seeing that dog that is just like, it's just whatever. It's incredible how fast that is. But for us as humans, we got our counseling, we got all our everything to try to help ourselves. But in reality, we go through all that and then nothing happens in the end. That's the part that I'm always questioning. Like, there must be something more here. Because how can, I don't know about but me, for instance, of just seeing dogs and people that I help with dogs, how am I able to see that dog just have this miraculous, just miracle type change happen in its life? That it used to be and then now it's nothing like it anymore. How does that happen? What's going on to make that happen? And that's the stuff that I'm really trying to study more on. I'm not trying to study more on how to get the dog to sit, how to get the dog to come to me, how to get the dog to do anything in period. I'm trying to figure out how the best way of understanding how to get a dog that is super excited over the world, to get the dog to just chill. And someone would say, oh, that dog is predestined to be what it is. So a dog was bred to be high energy, always working all day long, always having to go. And I'm saying, no, just because that dog was predestined to do that, I can say bring that dog into being somewhere else. Because that's the problem that most people are having today. They're not having a problem with a guy that lives on some land like me and just having his dogs on his property. No, you're not having problems with that. You're having problems with taking dogs that, for instance, I have, and you're taking them to a place like this. You're taking them to the park. You're taking them to the school. You're taking them to the soccer game. You're taking these dogs in, where these dogs are predestined, that someone would say, that dog is who it is. And the main thing here I want to say is not change in changing who the dog is, but changing in the idea of the dog is overexcited and over fearful, to be able to get the dog to change in his brain of seeing the world just as a neutral place. That there's nothing to be scared of. There's nothing to be nervous of. There's nothing crazy going on here. Not saying changing the dog that it isn't who it is anymore, but in reality, changing the dog to be more of who it is, pushing it further into what it actually wants to do and what it actually enjoys doing, not changing it and stripping from it what it's about. And I believe that this is the main thing that I'm always looking at when I'm just seeing everything with these animals, because we have to get the dogs to, because a lot of these dogs, unfortunately, are fearful, and we're expecting a dog to just shut up and just, you better deal with it and you better just get over it. And that's not the way it works. It works through, for one, just doing stuff over and over with that dog. But we start to see that the brain of the dog starts to change in, I'm no longer scared. I'm changing into, I don't give a crap anymore. That's the change that I'm just seeing is absolutely incredible. And when I started seeing that change in the dog, these people are doing these science projects with these dogs to try to learn more about us as humans. That's the stuff that I've been practicing the most in my life, is once I started seeing this happen with, say, just my own personal dogs, I started seeing dogs just do stuff that just, it didn't quite make sense. So I started to say, hey, can I get that same level of change out of my own self? I'm scared of that. What happens if I just go into it and I start to do it? Am I going to be able to change myself from being scared to being able to just see it as it's being normal? And I started to experiment with that. That's the part where, with me, that I started to get, a word I might not want to use, but really excited. Like really, really excited with seeing what's going on here. When I started to see that the dogs were able to change into seeing things as just being normal, I started just playing heavily with that with my own self. And that's the main thing that I believe that I've been focusing most of my time and my energy on. I've been seeing that these dogs are capable of doing things that we as humans struggle with for some reason. It might just come down to but then again, we don't really know what the thinking process of is the dog. How are they, what's going on with them? We don't really 100% know. But the one thing that I do know is it's creepy weird how they're able to get through things just in a very fast-tracked way. But us as humans, we have these, like, we delay, we struggle. We just keep constantly just coming into this resistance with seeing things and changing our perspective on what's going on in the world. And because the biggest thing is, I think that we're looking at it in the sense of, I need to change that person to be somebody else, as opposed to changing that person to be who they are. We as humans, I'm still gonna, just as something that I think what makes it easier for dogs is, I don't think they understand the concept of anger, and we as humans do. And I think the anger in this is what really slows us down. Because when we're scared of something, most cases, not all, but most cases, something's happened to you to make you scared of it. So then you're scared of it in the sense of, I'm mad at it. So you're mad at it, you got anger behind it, and that's stopping us from going past that hump of dealing with the unknown, to be able to make that actual change of doing something that you wanted to actually be able to do, but you're not, because you're scared or you're angry about something that's happened to you in that certain circumstance. And that's the thing that I think that the dogs don't have. And I think that that's the thing to be able to really learn how to fast track us as humans to be able to get into a better place. The change that we're actually looking for in our lives, to be able to figure out how to be able to just live in this world without your radar just constantly going on. Living and just being able to just relax. Living and having things come to you that used to just make you so mad that you just look at it and just say, it is what it is. Because that's like just recently, it's the creepiest thing to see my Johnny, my dog at the house playing with the cows. It's literally, he's like almost to the point that he's gaining so much with these animals that the babies are like, they're like literally like walking together. Like, it's weird that they're getting a little bit bigger now, my baby calves, but it's weird that they like he blends in and looks like them. It's so weird to see that he used to be like, say, terrified or nervous or angry or whatever with these animals, to the point that now he could just hang out with them. He could just relax with them. He could just be with them. I just see that in my face as just something that is just absolutely incredible. Something that he had it in a mission of, I got to get these animals out of here, to the point of today, he's like, hey, let's go hang out, guys. Let's go grab a beer. Let's go and just lay down and sunbathe together. It's so weird to see that. And then when I see that just forces me in my lens to look at my own life and just say, hey, how can I implement these same things? Because we've been testing these dogs. We've been testing these dogs to see what we as humans do. And if this dog can get to the point of being, the only word I can say is, just seeing him with these cows was terrified. He was just scared of them. To seeing that he used to be terrified to now he could just look at them and just be like, now we're cool. What was going on to be able to allow that to happen? Other than the main thing that I want to say is all that I constantly keep doing with all of my dogs when I see that they get scared of something is just put them in it. Just hang out. Put put them in it and hang out. Put them in it and just put them in it and just sit back and relax. And just allow them to just get through it and get through it and get through it, as opposed to just running from it, as opposed to just trying to mask it and trying to do whatever to try to make it disappear, trying to avoid it and not look at it. But just I don't care if y'all run, but just don't hit me, please. They're gonna. Ophi just gets inspiration to just want to run sometimes, and he just this is the part with Kahi. She's teaching him so much. She's teaching him so much, because the thing with my shepherd Kahi here, he used to just be so terrified of dogs, and I think it's because he just wasn't able to interact with them. And then once he started to be able to interact with them, he started to become, good word to use is like a bully. He's just like, he didn't know what to do, so he would just go all out and just do whatever the heck he wanted to do. And then I had to just keep exposing it, because even like right now, they're running and doing what they're doing. Like literally like 2 or 3 months ago, I'd have to stop Kahi already, because he would just be hounding on top of her and just like trying to hold her down, and it just wasn't a joyful experience. And then she would have to come and run to me for support of like, hey, this dude is just like doing too much. But just small, simple things of exposure over and over and over and over and over and over and over again has gotten to the point that everything is starting to relax down. Everything is just starting to be more calm. And I see that in the dog, and it's just incredible. So that's the stuff that I've been personally implementing in my life, of just say challenging it, pushing the limits of, does this stuff really work, or is it just for talk, for show? And I'm realizing it's not for talk, it's not for show, it's for real life, or real ways of being able to live on these lands. Seeing what you're scared of and dropping that anger and figuring out, why are you angry? Why are you frustrated? Why are you any of these toxic feelings that are going on inside of you, and making yourself try to run from it, as opposed to just going into it, heading into it and saying, hey, I need to be able to figure out how to be able to get myself past this. I need to figure out how to be able to get myself through this, and just keep going and going and doing it over and over and over again, to the point that you finally realize in the end, like, I wasn't actually really angry at it. I just thought that I should be that because of what the world says how I should be, because the world basically, it's always stating to us is we can't change. And if we can't change, then that means if your dog is reactive right now, it's going to be that forever. But yet I've seen it with my own eyes and with other people's stuff, and that it starts to disappear. So that means that change can happen. And the change that happens, again, isn't stripping from who you are and what that animal is. It's amplifying more to allow them to be able to have more a better existence. To be able to do more and be able to be more, be able to go more places, be able to do more stuff. That's the change that is absolutely amazing, that I just personally see, and it's what I've been able to do with my own self in reality. I've been doing so much more this past year, of going so many more new places and doing different stuff that I would just never have done before, because I was always just scared about it in reality, nervous about it. Nervous about, for one of the worst things that I've always had in me is just scared of what somebody would think, what somebody would say, seeing me, and what just that concept right there would just restrict me from being able to do anything. And I had to just go into it. And I'm realizing that change can happen. You used to be scared and now you're not. That change can happen. You used to act and be a way, and now you're no longer acting and being that way. Because most cases, unfortunately, we're acting and being because of what's being put upon us in reality. And that's another thing about the dog that I think is very strange and very cool, because they don't have like their family basically telling them who they are. The dog is just a dog, and we don't know 100% know, but they don't have, their mom's not sitting there telling them to be scared of something. Their dad's not telling them anything. Their siblings, their co-workers, their friends, their everything. The dog is just like there. And that's something that I see as being a fast track into being able to allow the dogs to be able to get better. But that's something that I just realized with us as humans as well. If I want to be able to get myself in a better place, I need to watch and pay very close attention to information that's coming to me. Who I'm around, what news feed is coming to me all the time. I need to be very, very careful of everything that's being come to me, so I can really realize like what is actually making me scared right now, what is actually putting me to think that I'm in danger right now, as opposed to realizing that there's nothing in reality that should be putting you in that sense. And if you just shut it all down and put it all away, you'll realize something real fast, that all of that was just, the best word I can use here, I guess, is fear-mongering. It's just fear mongering to just keep you to not being able to allow yourself to be able to change into being who you are. They want you to change into being who they are, but not change into being who you are. And that's the biggest thing that I've just noticed is absolutely incredible with being able to have the opportunity to be able to work with these dogs. These dogs are cool, but they're not. The only way I say this, and it might get into some people's feelings with me saying this, but they're not the main show. We're not playing on top of me. You can go off and go do that somewhere else. But the dogs are not the main show. The dogs are coming along for the ride. And in reality, they in the back of the vehicle. I mean, literally in my vehicle. They're in the back of the vehicle. They're not in the driver's seat. They're not in the passenger seat. They're in the back of the vehicle, and they're coming along for the ride. I'm the one that's telling them where we're going. I'm the one telling what we're doing. They're coming along for the ride. They're not the show. We as humans are, just the way I look at this world, we are the show. We are the ones that should be able to know how to be able to manage and maintain and take care and do everything with these lands. We are the ones. Sorry, hold on. Oh, we are that. And that's always been my focus of how to be able to see that, hey, you're nervous, you're scared, you're anxious, you're depressed, you're worried, you're all these things. We could change to get away from that, to be able to get to the point that it doesn't matter anymore. And I love being able to have the opportunity to be able to do that with the dogs, to just keep every single time I see that some like success like that happen with the dog, it just inspires me more to know we can do the same stuff as humans, and we could do it even better and even greater if we actually just focus in on it. We actually just pay closer attention to it. Because one of the biggest things that I always say that I see I don't know how to explain it, the best success ever is, how do I get my dog to be able to be in a place like this and just stay close? I just grab a leash, grab a dog, and I just hang out and I stay here. I just shut all the outside noise off. I just shut it all away. And that's what I'm doing to the dog. I'm shutting all the world off. We're not watching no TV. We're not bringing no news in. We don't have no friends telling us what to do. We're not having family tell us what to do. We're not doing nothing. We don't have any outside influence, but just this is what we're doing. And I started to, in reality, implement that same thing in my life. That's why for me, I go through phases, but I'm in another phase right now of, I don't watch no dog training stuff, because every time I start watching it, it's just, I don't know why, I don't know what it is, but it just starts to do something to me. Then I'm on YouTube watching these videos, it starts to do something to me that is like giving me some outside influence that just shouldn't be there. Some outside stuff that's kind of making me like, almost like trying to even like critique my stuff even a little bit more than I even need to, than it even matters. And it just starts to bring something to me. So I have to like neutralize my area to say, hey, no, I need to just focus on my stuff. And then when I do that, it's just weird on how everything just starts to relax. But that's the thing that I realized with how I can fast track the success with the dog, is to neutralize it, bring it somewhere and say, this is it. You're scared of that person, we're gonna sit here. And that's it, this is all we're gonna do. We're not gonna focus on that, focus on that, focus on that. We're not focusing on nothing, but just dealing with what's right there in our face right now. That right there, that's what we're gonna deal with. And then they just get through it and through it and through it. So then I start to basically do the same stuff with my own self. If I'm feeling anxious, I'm just gonna stop. I'm gonna stop listening to everything. I'm gonna shut the song off. I'm gonna shut the video off. I'm gonna shut the movie off. I'm gonna put the book down. I'm gonna stop doing everything I'm doing to just sit and be aware of like, okay, why am I feeling this way? What's going on right now? What's happening? And then I can start to look around to see like what is actually causing this. A lot of times we go into these I don't know what word to use, but just anxious is the best word to use. These anxious feelings, these man, there's a better word than that. The one when you get paranoid, man, I can't think of that word. But we get these anxious feelings and we don't even realize where it's coming from. And then we just try to muscle through it, try to fight through it without realizing like, where is it? What's going on with this? Why is this happening? Why is this going on? And when you could just stop and just shut it all down, because sometimes it could just be a simple sound. I've had times in my life with certain things that just happen that it just sucks. Especially the time when one of the most, it wasn't even that complicated, but one of the most complicated things for me to get past was cars driving slow behind me. Because when I got shot, it was just like it was just in my brain, it was in my body, it was inside of me. So every single time that a car would come slow past me, I would always get this like, something's going on. But it was very easy to figure out, because it was like that action, that happened, that's going on. And it's easy to like really know. So that when I started to get that feeling when that car would come, it's easy for me to say, okay, it's that. It's not this. It's not something from 18 years ago. It's this right here. And then I would just have to sit in that and sit in it and sit in it and sit in it and sit in it. And then after a while, it's just like, I just don't care anymore. I still get it here and there, that it's just sometimes, some places, it's not anywhere where I live. But if I go back to my parents' place and walking around out there, I still get that like, because that's where it happened at. But it's It's something that I'm aware of. And then when that sensation comes, I know, okay, it's that. That's what's happening here. And that's the thing that in reality, most of us really need to pinpoint and figure out. I'm always asking why the dog is doing this and why the dog is doing that. Why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you scared? Why are you nervous? Why are you getting anxious right now? Why are you paranoid right now? Why are you getting in, this panic attack? That's the word I was thinking of earlier. Why are you getting into a panic attack right now? What's going on? Is it something immediate right there? Or is it an old memory or an old thought or old something that is coming back into your life right now that is forcing you to, that's drawing you to go back into that? Because that's what we really need to be able to pay attention to figure out how to be able to say, look, get the change that you're looking for. If you're going to work and you're always nervous, you need to change from being nervous to just being, I'm just at work. You need to change yourself to be a boss and be strong and be fake tough and be all this stuff. You need to change to do none of that. You need to change the fact of, I'm scared, how do I not be scared? I'm too excited, how do I not be too excited? And it's just, it's incredible to see that change can happen with these dogs. I don't need to strip from the dog or take from the dog and make the dog be anything else other than who it is. But I could change a fearful one to get it to just be, everything's okay. I could change one from being so excessively excited to just being, everything is okay. And when I see that, it's just inspirational to me to realize like what we as humans are actually capable of being able to do. Thank you. What's up, girl? Coming over here. Hi. You ready to go run in the water? You can go in there. You don't go swimming in it. You just like running next to it. Man, just seeing this dog I watched a video, I think it was labeled 10 or 11 months ago, with her, just one of my update videos, and watching her and having her on leash. Just seeing how she was, just her eyes are just obsessive over everything. It's just crazy. Like I would never even consider having this dog out here right now. Dang girl, you all up on me. Having this dog out here in that state of mind that she was in. I didn't change her from saying, like, I didn't strip from her that want to run, that want to chase, that want to pursue. I didn't strip that from her. What I did change is the overexcitement that she had that was just, it was just obsessive for no reason in reality. And I changed. What's up, girl? I changed her mindset of being like insane to just seeing it as being like, it's okay. And this the main thing that most people in reality need to focus. If you got that dog that is just like if you went to a farm to buy a dog and you put it in the city right now, you got work that you got to do. You don't want to change the dog of you can never run and you can never be. No, you need to change the dog of getting that dog to notice that overexcitement, that over fear, it's okay. Just let it go, let it go, let it go. And then the dog will finally be able to just, the way I see it is being able to live. She's able to live at this moment now because of all the, I guess I could say it like that, but what's up, girl? All of the work that I've done with getting her to the point that she's at right now. She's now able to live. She could be out here. She can go for walks. She can go for runs. She can go chase when she needs to chase. She's able to like do at this moment now. But before, she wasn't able to do nothing because she had to be on a 6-foot leash with me. Or that was even it was a struggle at first. But once it all just started to settle and settle and settle, she's now able to live. She's now able to go and do pretty much anything at this moment. She's now able to just freely be. Because even now, today, she's starting to run more out here, where she never really ran because I was a little overbearing. I should have not put so much on it, but I was always nervous because she was just obsessed about chasing stuff. So as soon as she was getting to this, like, I want to run stance, I was like, Ophi, come here. And I'll put her back on the leash and say, calm down. But now that she knows that we don't chase nothing out here, now she's starting to get more moving and cruising. She's starting to live more. She's starting to be able to actually like experience life. And I think that's the coolest thing when I can see that in this dog is realizing, man, that's how I want to be. I want to get all these restrictions away, me being scared of certain things, me being overexcited over things, so I can actually be able to live. I can go do more stuff. I can go experience more things. I can go ahead and just be able to be out and about without this nervousness behind me. You're able to do more when you can get more into a neutral stance and more understanding of what you're scared of and just working through it. Working through it, as opposed to running from it. You'll be able to live and do and be and just have more experience in this life. That's what I see with the simple dog. Because of how she's able to just really settle all everything down. She has more freedom, way more freedom. She doesn't have more freedom because I don't know what word to use here, but I'm just going to go with this word. Don't take this word the wrong way. But disciplined her into saying, you better or else. I didn't get her to get that freedom in that sense. I got her to get to the freedom of a sense of I had to do more work. Of you want to chase? Okay, let's go do that over here and do it 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 and keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it and then keep doing it and then keep doing it and keep doing it. You're obsessed at the park because of the squirrels and everything. Just grab a bench and just sit there. And I would just sit there and 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 just say, we're here. This is what we're doing. And just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. And then once we were able to get through all that, say, work, our baggage work, I guess I could say, the baggage that we have going on inside of us, then we can go ahead and explore and do more at this moment now. And it's such a, I don't know how to, it's just such a cool thing. It's cool to see how these dogs can function. And especially it's cooler to know that we can do the same stuff as humans. And we have way more capabilities to be able to do even greater things than these dogs are even come close to being capable of doing. We could do some amazing things, just incredible things. But the thing is, we have to stop running away from what we're scared of. Stop, Ophi, you could chew any stick on this planet, but you got to chew the stick that my camera's hooked up to. I see you. You're a little dirty right now. But we could do some absolutely incredible things, but it only comes down to, in my mind, of realizing what's going on and not just pushing it away. I always ask, why is the dog reactive? Why is the dog pulling? Why is the dog chasing? Why are you reactive? Why are you pulling? Why are you chasing? We do the same stuff as these dogs do. You got guys out here that are chasing women on some please be with me. We got women out here that do that, man, please be. You're chasing. Why are you chasing so much? Why are you chasing so hard? Why are you pursuing it so much? Why are you over obsessed about that chase so harsh, so much that you just like, you can't focus on anything else, but just that's all you're focused in on? Like, think about this. All this stuff that goes on in this world is in reality the same stuff. You're so scared. You're scared of people. Your dog is scared of people. So let's put it in the same sense that your dog is scared of dogs. You're scared of people. The dog is scared of the dog. Why is the dog scared of another dog? What has happened to the dog to make that dog fearful of dogs? What has not happened to the dog that's making that dog be fearful of dogs? That's the main way I look at it. What hasn't happened? The dog hasn't had enough interactions. What's going on with so many humans today? We have a lot of interactions with stuff online. We got a lot but as far as interactions of being with people, being close to people, that's like a skill that's getting lost in these lands. That's maybe why you're scared of people, because you don't have enough interactions with people. You haven't put yourself out enough. You haven't been around enough. You're sitting. You're sitting in a corner, you're sitting in your office, you're sitting in your bedroom all day long, and you're not going out. So that's maybe why you're more and more fearful, why you're more scared. And it's just like everything just kind of seems to line up and be the same when I'm really looking at it. And unless we're asking why and what's going on, we're not going to get ourselves into a better place. You say hi, Kahi? Look that way. You come up here. He'll jump on me when I stand, but he doesn't really like doing it when I'm sitting. Come on. I don't know what that is. Come here, boy. You can come. There we go. It's Kahi, my scared shepherd. But now that he's not so scared of much anything, he's able to have a life of being able to just be more free. That's the life that I want to be able to have.